All right, now it's story time. We could say it's timing, it's the universe, it's all sorts of things. And I feel like doing it anyway. And you got to, when it comes to energies and picking up things and watching things, you pick what you want to choose to use and have. You know that old saying? Anyway, I want to talk about when God gives us both sides, both sects, the same chances to find out what they would do. They get tests all the time, and one side has failed tests, as we've talked about in the Bible about Eve eating the apple. That's a failed test, right? And I've talked about how if you have a company, you only need one idiot to screw up a company, right? That's what can happen in areas and in groups. One weak link screws it for all of them. One idiot in Tasmania goes around shooting around, kills 30 odd people, I think it was, and you get gun bans. Screws it for everyone. You get it? Now, everything goes scale. Like my sign. Right? Everything goes scale in nature and all sorts of things. You find it in science, right? And so when it comes to the source out there, something that watches over us, if we'll test or not, that thing, right? It does things. It keeps an eye on us. We talk about it. We have the Bibles, we have these religions. And what it does is it rocks up and offers gifts. The apple thing, right? The tree, right? And what will you pick from that tree? The tarot readers have this card, and it goes, look out for that yucky one with the snakes in it, and this one, and this one, and this one, right? That's a similar thing I'm about to tell you now. And what happens is it plays a test between the man and the female. And they represent this one man and one female, Adam and Eve. They get chosen. And they represent the man and the female, right? And what happens mostly, right? And if things go wrong in big ways in this way, right? And what they do, and it doesn't go wrong in everyone, it becomes a program, right? And how they're going to be. They either get an upgrade or they're going to be right where they are and put in their place and have a downgrade or same area. And what the source does is it sends you energies, gives man energies, woman energies, and it goes, now what are you going to do with it? It gives them the tree. And on the tree shows you the good apple and the bad apple. Right? And you can pick it and you can go, you can eat the bad apple and go, now that's not too bad. I could sell that. Right? But to me, it's not that good. I might use it on myself, but I could sell it, right? Or you can have another person go, that's a bad apple. I'm not even going to give that to my people. I'm not that bad. No, the bad apple says I should, but no. Actually, I might make it for nature. I'll give it to them. I'll grind it up. I'll use it for something else. Won't be so profitable, but anyway. And that's what the test is. It wants to know how you're going to use your information, your gifts, and how you're going to present it. Right? So if you get something cool, like say you're a psychic and you can look into the future, are you going to give them the full details? Are you going to be like that lady in the medium and go to the police and try to work it out instead of just assuming? Or are you going to dominate with it? When you get good at it and you can see the future, that means are you going to tell them the right thing? Or are you going to get paid over there from another dude, as we know in the system works? You're going to manipulate it, go, well, I know they're going to pick up this cup. And instead of saying they're going to pick up a cup and drink it, I'm going to say they had this cup and it had poison in it. And they're going to listen to it and they're going to assume there might be poison in it because they know that I said they're about to pick up the cup, you see. So they know I'm right there. And now they're going to get parent. You get it? And so gifts get twisted. That's a psychic twisting their benefit, their gift for their benefit. They did it for the money or themselves. Right? Now you get gifts in all sorts of ways. Now, when you get given it to it, several of us will get it. So in this one, it's best not just one, but we'll just say it was. But in this one, it's best to have a few. So a few people have a few gifts because it's about connection. It can be down to one. It starts off with one simple and it goes up to two, goes up to three, goes up to four, right? But we'll say there's a few people with a few gifts. And they're meant to get along with it. If they connect lovingly, they get a better benefit. And then they can work out what's fair on love, right? So it means they have plenty of animals and then they can either neuter them or have more to eat if they need to, as they've got plenty, right? They can kill them when they're older, if they're willing to wait, like a good wine, or they can have a shit wine and just keep eating and have the punishment and that feeling of why they're doing it there for envy and greed and fucking up all the time or something. You know what I mean? And so what happens is that if the women don't use the powers right, what they do is they curse themselves. Because in the end, one side looks at the other side and goes, so what did you do with your gifts? What did you do with the false gifts? How did you did this? Now you've just cursed collectively the male. You failed. Oh, it was you too? Now you're cursively failed. Now you can have those gifts. Now keep smoking and stop. Don't stop until the next time I come back, right? And then you let me know if you've learnt a lesson or you got used to that cigarette and you didn't get very sick from constantly smoking, right? I thought that would have went off, then I accidentally tapped off the screen, but it come back from swinging my hand. Right? How did it go? How did your test go out there, people? What's going on? What gifts and things are happening? Who do you reckon may have cursed your generation? Should you talk to these people who are cursing your generation, your way of thinking? That's how we connect. That's what's going on now. But what are the main priorities, right? Now, women always go on. Now, say that was happening, right? And then we're into the future and we're trying to get through it as Jesus come for the sins. He worked out something. Maybe he did something. Maybe because he passed, yous didn't all die. You know what? That's getting rid of all your sins, isn't it? But that one they say now is a cockle-doodle one. Oh, he died and we got rid of all our sins and we become sinless. I don't see where that history even proves itself. It doesn't make sense. But the one I just said can't it? There's a few more we can do because everything's not one. But one of them would be right. And that's how detectives work. Right, is getting information. Now we're either smart. That's why we have smarter detectives. The more smarter, the more likely they're going to work it out quicker, or work it out, right? And don't have so many cases as they worked out in their lessons and got better than what they were chasing instead of what they're chasing is better than that. Right? You're not going to chase down something that's better than you, right? Because you'll be like, oh shit, he's always going one step ahead. Exactly. Right? But anyway, keep it like that. We've got history where men have been pretty kind when it comes to the women, pretty fair. You see them pretty romantic. Go back in history and it shows you something, right? So if you wanted to talk about who's the gold digger, we'll put it in this factor, right? Just a quick lineup and people talking about gold diggers like these. Who's the gold digger? So a gold digger is a person that likes to get more than they put back out. Pretty much, right? Gold digger. Rather, I don't want to do much, right? My looks is good enough, and my brains, right? And you give me it all now, right? Gold digger kind of thing. And so who's done that more in history, and who's done the right thing more in history? When a person has a go at someone, like I said before, have they got it right? So if someone's having a go at someone all the time, is that because they fuck up? So if you look at the part, oh yeah, they're not connecting, they're not doing this part. Well, they did fuck up. So they had a right to have a yell. So they're not a bad person. In fact, you needed that. That's how that rolls, right? It's like parenting. But if they didn't need it, they did do the right thing, which is like bullying, which is what people do. And you're still having a go at them like they're a failure because you're not working hard enough, even though they are getting there and they're doing something you're not, and they're not just working quick enough and you're bullying. Right? And so you look back in history and you go, so what women were doing what? What do they give up? What do they fight for? They say you always have to fight for your freedom. What do men fight for? Men fought for a position. They go to wars, right? So they did that part. They learnt. They moved on. They do what they say, right? Now, what does the other side do? Right? And then so on. And then history. Right? And then over time, evolution. Evolution shows us what we stuck to the most. If you stick to something, you will change into it, like with education. So a man that did a lot of hard labour, he's got muscles. They proved that they did hard labour right there, right? Evolution. And then there's women. Women can say they were forced into a position, but then they say you're not meant to get anywhere, or we earned it. They got this thing with earned it. So battles means earned it. Muscles means what they got muscles before you got muscles. So at least they were doing a kind thing, right? And that story goes right back. So, and we hear the right back stories, not good on certain sides when it comes to someone eating the bad apple and so on. And what do we see today? Right? Now, if someone wants to do something, they better be able to do it. Oh, I'm having a whinge and whine. I can't do it. His job. Oh, I didn't want it. I was just being a kid going, I wanted that toy back just because he had it, or he said I couldn't have it. Who does that a lot, right? Is that a good thing? Huh? And so the best way is just to be real, really. And if you need to move on, you need to move on. And one day, if you want to be this, you will be that. Your evolution will show you, right? If you want a job that's easier for your body for right now, pick that. If you want to push yourself, push yourself. Because the ones who keep doing that in that sector will have babies with stronger muscles. That's what it's like. You look around the world, there's women with stronger muscles than others and stronger build and look, like Russians and that. And you go, why do they look like that? Huh? It's because of what they've done. I just told you about a story. That means those women have worked harder than the other women, you see. So they might have been locked up too, but they had to work. So which woman would you rather be? The one that's locked up, controlled, and work, or the one that is locked up but pampered, like a rich man might want to do, that gets jealous about women who's got a good woman. But she's getting all pampered, but I'm going to try to make sure she don't talk to too many people, because I don't want these assholes coming in with a test to test my woman, right, on some bullshit, right? So what do you reckon? Have a good one out there, everybody, and see yous later.